Hello everyone, a quick disclaimer before we are starting the video. I'm using all the videos, which means that the side spin value is not the correct one as for the newer version of the side spin that we have in the game today. I do this to be able to provide you with a playthrough before the tournament starts. Also for the Sunshine Glades, as they are not available from the front tee in Golf Clash game, I'm using videos that is from the Monster March tournament, still up to date in the way that we are playing them, but you have a dark view, and therefore I wanted to mention that as well. Obviously we're not going to have dark view when we play in the tournament here in the Riverside, but those are the two disclaimers I want to make. If you have questions, you can always email support@golfclashtommy.com. Now let's go to the video. Hello everybody, and welcome to this playthrough for Rookie Division with various type of wind for the Riverside Tournament here in Golf Clash the game. Video sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic, and before we start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Click the button in the bottom right corner. Also, visit golfclashtommy.com for more Golf Clash related content for free. Last but not least, get the ultimate tournament guides on patreon.com/golfclashtommy for tour and tournament play. Follow the info box on the right hand side to get the elevation adjustment, the club distance adjustment, what type of ball and what club I do suggest you to play with. You don't have to follow what I'm suggesting, but there is always a plan behind it. Can we also get this video to 300 thumbs up? That would be insane, and I would be very thankful for that. In the end though, as already stated in the disclaimer, we are looking at older videos, this to be able to provide you with a playthrough before the tournament starts, as all of the videos are not able to be found from front tee in the game at the moment. So let's focus and go to hole number 1. For hole number 1, we're gonna go for green, and here you can choose by between two ways of playing. If you do have at least 3 bars of backspin, I would recommend to bounce over the bunker and land it nicely on green or just by the green. If you do not have that, like only having 2.5 bar backspin like we are having on Extra Mile level 5, then I would recommend to go for a rough bump. The rough bump is a little bit trickier, but it doesn't really need us to have backspin. So here I'm using max side spin to the right, 2 bars of top spin, and I'm going to adjust for maximum distance with a 20% over adjustment here. Have in mind that using max side spin on Titan here on the screen shows 4.5 bar top spin, but is with a new side spin value 2 bars of side spin, as it is a side spin 2 ball. Have in mind here that the reason we fall short into the rough, because if you compare the aiming spot compared to where we bounced further back, and that is because we adjust from a higher to a lower point, which means that we're gonna lose distance. So the thing that I would recommend you to do, if you do have a crosswind coming left to right, after you have made your adjustment, you push up 1 ring to compensate for the loss of distance. If you're going to bounce over the bunker, use the katana instead to use all side spins. You have side spin 3, and that's going to be much easier for you to use. Use the Thor's hammer or the Extra Mile or whatever drive that gives you the power, but also give you a little backspin or a little topspin, depending on what route you're choosing to play. This is, however though, a par 4 that is played almost like a par 3, so an eagle here is a must. So for hole number 2, we're gonna play a par 3 with our long iron. We're using the red wing to be just slightly into the rough on the right, and we're gonna use 1 and a click side spin to the left and 0.8 top spin. Have in mind that 1 and a click side spin in more or less like 0.3, 0.4 side spin with the new side spin value. The thing that I would like us to do though is to use more side spin. We should use, in this case, 2 bars of side spin to the left. Don't be that low on the side spin. And now I'm talking about the new side spin value. So using maximum side spin with a side spin 2 ball. And that's why I suggest the Quasar or the Katana here, so we can get the side spin correct but now when we want to. Use the Backbone or the Goliath for the best possible long iron. And the reason we're playing a long iron bounce up instead of a rough bump is because a rough bump will be in between clubs with many different type of wind angles, and that's why we're choosing the bounce over, so we are not going to put ourselves in a tough time if we choose the rough bump. Max plus 10 is the adjustment for this shot. For hole number 3, you're gonna see me going with my drive into the rough, but I think there's some valuable lessons with this type of way of playing that we're gonna talk about. First and foremost, the thing that I'm looking for is to have my ball to bounce over the rough and the sand, trying to cut the corner in a more nice way than trying to go in between. The reason for that is that we do need to get this ball to be as far up the fairway possible to be able to have a chance to reach for the green in 2. So therefore we need to push this one hard and actually gamble a little bit with that. If we do get a glitch roll by going over the rough and the sand there, we're gonna have a shot from the rough for the second shot. Maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment, and you will most likely push this club up to max. The only problem we have here is that I do go with a little bit too much of overpower, and that is unfortunate in this situation. So we do get into the rough, so what do we do from the rough then? We do just lay up. Now we are going to look to lay up for a short iron towards the pin. So even though you do get into the rough, the eagle is not, you know, gone, so to speak. You still have a decent chance making the eagle. So the thing that I'm gonna do here now is to just focus. I'm not gonna try to overpower my shot here. I'm going to try to just lay up as nicely as possible on the fairway, so I do have a shot from the fairway, which is the important part. If I would be pushing my rough iron harder, I might go into the rough again, and then the eagle is gone. If you do land on the fairway with your drive, which obviously is what we're looking for, then you're gonna play with the big dog to use as much topspin possible and go for a bounce from the fairway into the rough to roll out on the green. This is going to be a shot here with a short iron in many of the cases. And here you have 3 options, okay? So 1, you can go for the dunk, and that is the way that I'm going because I feel comfortable going for the dunk. But that doesn't mean that you feel comfortable going with that way. So what do you do instead? You go with a direct backspin shot on the green to, you know, go like after the pin for the ball to roll back towards the pin. Or you go for a rough bump, but the rough bump needs at least 3 bars of topspin, otherwise you will fall short. So my preferred way, the dunk, is going to be in this case adjusted for a maximum distance with a minus 10% elevation. But if you do play with this, like when you do play with this type of shot, you will have to have in mind that you will sometimes be in medium distance, sometimes in maximum distance, and etc, etc. So have in mind that you always need to check the club distance whenever you are going to play this third shot. But obviously we're not looking to find yourself in this position all the time. But I think it's a very valuable lesson on this very tough par 5 to know what to do if the drive doesn't go our way, because that unfortunately is gonna happen from time to time. But if we manage to drive, then we obviously go for the green, and that's going to be the best way to get an eagle, of course. For hole number 4, we are going to play with the sniper if we do have at least 1.5 bar topspin on our club, which we will be having already in level 4. So we're looking to have the top of the yellow ring to be by the rough line, and having the ball guide line go from the right side of the green to go in towards the pin, leaving the ball guide line just slightly short. Now when we do have a little tailwind, we can leave the ball guideline at the pin as well, as you will see that we will come in not that, you know, we will come in pretty slow towards the pin. Minimum distance with a 10% over adjustment is what I'm using here, and I'm using a power silver ball like the Marlin, and the reason I'm doing that is because otherwise I will go in between clubs if I do have a tailwind. So that's why I'm using the Marlin, and I do believe that using a lower level type of ball here is still going to make this shot a much possible hole-in-one, and something that we definitely can work with when it comes to going into the tournament. So a par 3 with a big possibility for a drop, but obviously you need to line up correct and you need to hit perfect. But save the better balls, use the marlin. That is my best tip. For hole number 5, we're going to lay up, and have in mind once again that we are using a club that gives us an accuracy and a ball guideline that is very helpful. Sure, it is very intriguing to go over the water with our driver, but we don't have the possibility to it because we don't have the topspin. To be able to bounce on the fairway over the water, you do need to have at least 7 bars of topspin. And I would say that that is with a straight tailwind that we're having now. So a big topper would be helpful in a situation like that. But have in mind as well that the big topper is a very risky club to play with as it has a bad accuracy. So, we do lay up short using our wood club here. It's not often we use our wood club from tee, but that's what we're gonna do. And we play maximum distance plus 10 for the drive, I would say, even though we're using a wood club. The second shot is also going to play with a wood club. So we play with a wood club times 2. And now we're going to use as much side spin to the right possible and also use somewhere between 2 to 4 bars of backspin. We, in this case, using a sniper with a better ball guideline is the better choice of club. But once again, if you do not have a sniper that is better than level 5, then the Viper will be the better option as it has better stats in general. Adjustment is going to be medium distance with no elevation. We try in that case to hit perfect, which we do, and it bounces and it bounces and it bounces, and we are just burning the right side of the cup. This shot is a very difficult one to drop, but once again, I do think that when you have lower level clubs, this is the way to play. And if you're trying to go over the water, make sure you do play with at least a power 3 ball. Make sure you play with that driver with at least 7 bars of topspin. Otherwise, you will see yourself swim with the sharks, I'm about to say. But you will see yourself swim and then lose a shot. And that is going to be something that might cost you qualifying for the tournament. For hole number 6, we're gonna play a Sunshine Glade hole, and have in mind once again we're playing with a dark view. That's because I need to be able to provide you for a guide. We do go with max top spin and also as much side spin to the right possible. Adjust maximum distance plus 10. Once you have done that, you push up your club into max and then you take your shot. Using max side spin with a side spin 2 ball equals 2 side spin bar with the new type of side spin value. So we're getting it over the water, which is what we're looking for. And now we're going to play either in wood club range or in long iron range. It all depends on what driver you're having. If you do have a driver that gives you at least 6 bars of topspin, you will see yourself playing with a long iron in maximum distance. But for playing with 4.5 bar topspin, which you do with lower level extra miles for an example, then we will be playing with a wood club in medium distance of our club. No elevation for this shot, and I'm looking to use somewhere between 1 to 3 bars of backspin depending on what type of wind angle I'm going to have. Adjustment is made, and now it's all about hitting perfect. And this, as we do play straight forward with the drive and the second shot, we can utilize yardage notes and make it easier for us. Right that pin for a lovely albatross, and I do believe if the wind is going to be tailwind when we can go over the water and the rough with the drive, the albatross attempt is going to be pretty severe, and it's going to be a fun hole to play in my opinion. Use the sniper if you can, because it has a better ball guideline than the Viper, but if you have very low level clubs you can't really do much about that. But hole number 6, good chance for an albatross. Here we do have the same type of structure as we do have on hole number 4. Use a power 0 ball to prevent you from going in between clubs if you do have any form of tailwind with your shot. 1.5 bar topspin with the yellow ring by the rough line. And have in mind, I do play with the Viper here. I would recommend to use a sniper if you do have the possibility, because if you do play with a crosswind or a headwind, we will need to use more topspin than 1.5 bar, because then the wind won't help us as it does here with some tailwind. Minimum distance with a 20% over adjustment is what we are playing, and then we're going to look for the ball to bounce over the water and then go towards the pin. And we love the camera angle here, because now we know it's going to be close, and we take a 180 around the cup and falling nicely in for an hole-in-one. Those of you that do want to play just a super duper safe way, play with the Guardian and just go directly at the green and take your birdie. But if you're gonna play for the hole-in-one, I would strongly recommend to bounce over the water, as that's going to be the best possible chance making an hole-in-one. For hole number 8, we see ourselves having a very good chance making an an eagle, of course, using in this case a Marlin ball as a start, as I do not believe that we do need more power than a power 0. Maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment, and we're using spin that is as much top spin possible together with the side spin that we do have. And with side spin 1 ball with the new side spin value, we're gonna use 1 bar of side spin to the right. So the ball gets down to the fairway, and we get the ball to roll up into a nice distance towards the pin. And this is, in my opinion, one of the easier par 4s there is in the game, for 2 reasons. It's because we don't really have any obstacles to play with. We also can use a lower level type of ball, and then we have a short iron towards the pin. The short iron will be played medium distance of our club, and when you do play with a short iron that has less than 4.0 ball guideline, then you will need to leave that ball guideline short, otherwise you will come in too hot, and then you're going to struggle to get the ball to stop in time, and then it will most likely hit the pin and bounce out. So we leave the ball guideline short, and we estimate how the rollout is going to be, and then we hit perfect after making an adjustment of medium distance with no elevation. A little bit lucky here, taking a 360 in the hole, but whatever drop we get, it counts. So this is, in my opinion, a drop that is something that you need to get if you're gonna win the tournament, but obviously stay away from making mistakes, then you will for sure make the weekend round, even if you don't make this drop. For hole number 9, we're going to play with the quarterback for our drive. Blue ring by the rough line to the right, and we're using, in this case, as much topspin and side spin to the right possible. Have in mind that you don't want to use more than 5 bars of topspin, as you will then risk going into the bunker on the left-hand side. Half a ball of curl to the right to help us go over to the right side after our adjustment. The thing that I would like you to have in mind here, though, is that playing with a Quasar and a Katana will be better than playing with a Marlin, as we then can use more side spin, and it's going to be easier for us to stay away from the left-hand side. Because if you go into the bunker on the left-hand side, you will struggle massively going to the green in 2. So that's why I really want us to play with a side spin 2 ball or better. Second shot is going to play with a wood club. We're going to play in medium to maximum distance. When we play with a power 0 ball, we're going to play in maximum distance totally. If we do play with a power 1 or power 2 ball, we will see ourselves playing more or less in medium distance of our club. The thing that you need to have in mind, though, is that you need to estimate your club distance before you take your shot. So if you find yourself in a different range than what I have explained here in this playthrough, then play with that instead, because it's impossible for me to give you an exact club range every single time. Adjustment, in this case I use maximum distance, no elevation, and I should be using max left spin together with 2 to 3 bars of backspin. That is kind of the general use of a side spin. If you have more side spin to the left, use more, because then you take yourself away from the rough to the left more as well. So you can manage to play this one with a Marlin ball. It's not often you can do that with on a par 5, But once again, I do suggest a power 1 side spin 2 or a power 2 side spin 3 ball instead. Sniper or the Viper to the pin, the one that has the best ball guideline is the one that I would go with, because that's going to help tremendously trying to get the Albatross. Thank you so much everybody for watching this playthrough for Rookie Division with different type of wins for the different type of holes. And have in mind, as said already, I'm using older videos here because you cannot find all of them from the front tee. And to be able to provide you a playthrough to start practicing, start taking notes for the tournament, I wanted to do this for you all. So have in mind that the side spin value shown is going to be wrong on every hole here. The thing that you do is that you do take that side spin. Let's say that I do add 5 bars of side spin. You divide it by 2.33 and then you will get the correct side spin value with the new side spin. Otherwise, you will and hopefully look forward to the playthrough come when the tournament starts, where we obviously will update with the new shots with the side spin value. Video sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic. Don't forget to hit thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching and good luck in your Golf Clash game.